Hello and welcome to Trico's low cost, no cost energy savings workshop to help give you some ideas and tips and tricks that you can do in your home to start saving energy and saving money. My name is Chelsea Morrison. I'm a renewable resources and energy efficiency specialist here at Trico. Please feel free to take down my contact information for questions you may have at a later date. So a few things that we are going to be discussing today are air leaks, thermal heat, filters, heating and cooling, water heating, lighting, appliances, and phantom energy. So what is using the most energy in your home? You can see here that heating and cooling take up about 43% of the usage in your home, which is probably not surprising, especially in Arizona during the summertime. This is followed by water heating, lighting. And you can also see we have your appliances and your refrigeration. So what are some different factors that are going to affect the usage in your home? So, of course, we have behaviors. So these are your energy habits. How long of showers are you taking? What is your thermostat set at? Your system. So this is your house as a whole. This would include your appliances, your AC units, your heating units, your water heater. So all of those systems that are functioning in your home, are they functioning efficiently? And of course, climate. So here in Arizona, we're typically looking at a hot and usually dry climate. Other types of habits. Do you have kids or grandchildren who live at home or come to visit? How much are they utilizing when they're in the home? Length of showers. How long are your showers? Are you using a low flow faucet and shower in your home? Lighting. Do you have the correct light bulbs? Are you using lighting when no one is in the room? Your pool and spa, what do you have the timer set at for how long during the day? What time of day? Do you entertain a lot? Do you cook a lot in the home? Do you consistently have a lot of guests in your home? And then, of course, holidays and guests as well. And then who is controlling your thermostat? So what are you keeping your thermostat at during what time of year? While you're away from the home, while you're sleeping? What is controlling your thermostat? Air leaks. So I'm sure we have all heard the saying to shut the door, you're cooling the neighborhood. And this is actually true. So you can see here some of the major sources of air leaks in your home. You can see that floors, walls, and ceilings are going to take up the majority of these sources at 31%. Then we do have your ductwork, plumbing entries, may not be as common in Arizona, but fireplaces. And you can see we also have windows and doors on there as well. But again, floors, walls, and ceilings are going to be the highest source of air leaks in your home. So what can you do to address some of these air leak issues? So with windows, this is going to account for about 10% of the air leaks in your home. How you can help combat this is you can plant trees. You can use insulated curtains or blinds to help keep the sun out and provide shade. And then you can also consider new efficient windows. This would be on the higher cost spectrum for this update. And then your doors. So your doors are going to count for about 11% of the air leaks in your home. You can use caulking and weather stripping door sweeps and for your door jambs. A great thing to do with your doors, and this is your windows as well, you can turn off all the lights and make it as dark in your home as possible and see where you see sunlight coming through. And those are the areas that you would want to address. Again, fireplaces, this accounts for about 14% of the air leaks in your home. You can install a screen to help prevent the airflow. And electrical outlets, this is a small percentage, but it's also a very low cost update that you can make to help prevent this. You can install outlets and switch plate seals. And then fans and vents are going to account for about 4%. So you can use spray foam to fill in these areas. You want to use the correct product for this job. So making sure you're reading the labels correctly for the product that you're purchasing. Plumbing entries, these are about 13% of the air leaks in your home. Again, spray foam or spray tape can be used to help seal these entryways. And again, making sure that you're using the correct products. and your ductwork. So this is another higher percentage at 15%. This one, you may want to contact a professional to help come out to inspect your duct system. They'll be checking for any kind of damage or leaks that they can find in the ducts, and you're able to address it that way as well. But some things that you are able to do on your own for your ductwork is, again, making sure you're checking for any leaky connections, checking your returns, make sure that there's no furniture, anything blocking your registers. And then you can also check for any kind of fallen ductwork and insulation, and checking any supply leaks. And then they'll also be looking for kinks in the ductwork that may be restricting the airflow as well. So some tips for manufactured homes. You're able to install insulated skirting around the home, which helps keep the bottom of the home insulated in the area between the ground and the belly of the manufactured home. You can also add insulation to the belly or install a belly wrap. You also want to make sure that you're keeping update with all general repairs, just as you would on any home or any system. You can also add insulation to your roof and or install a roof cap. Thermal heat. So what is thermal heat? Thermal heat is going to be the movement of energy from a hotter object to an area that is cooler, or an object that is cooler. So you can see here some examples of thermal heat and how it's conducting in your home. So about 25% is going to go through your roof or your attic. Another 25% is going through your windows and doors. Then you also have your floors. And then the highest percentage is going to be your walls. So heat transfer can never be stopped. We can only slow or reflect it away. So 3 ways that your home is going to lose or gain heat: radiation, conduction, and convection. So with radiation, this is the transfer of heat in the form of electromagnetic waves. So this is when heat is transferred from the roof to the ceiling. Conduction, so this is going to be the transfer of heat through a solid material. So for example, when the heat is transferred from a warmer section of the wall and ceilings to cooler sections. And convection, so this is going to be the transfer of heat by moving air. So an example of convection is when warm air rises and transfers heat to the ceiling. So some other real life examples here of radiation, conduction, and convection, just to have a little better understanding of how those work. So we see here during the summer, you're going to gain about 60% of the heat in your home through the windows during the summer. During the winter, this is where you're going to experience about 25% of your heat loss. Again, this is through your windows. So what are some things that you can do to assist with this heat gain or with loss? So you see all different types of window coverings here. We do see covered patios, trees, again, surrounding the window to provide shade. And again, just different examples of different coverings to help with that heat gain and loss. Air filters. So to start, do we all know where these are located? You should know that they are located somewhere near your HVAC unit. They may be located on the side or underneath the unit. And there are different types of filters. So fiberglass or polyester, these are going to be your relatively inexpensive filters. They are disposable. They're better for capturing large particles like lint or dust. And then you have washable and reusable filters. So again, they can be cleaned and reused to purchase less frequently. You do have to replace them every few years. And then they help to protect the furnace motor, and they also trap large particles. There are also pleated filters. Again, these are disposable and they're going to cover a larger surface area, and they can capture more particles. And then we have electrostatic filters. These are also disposable or reusable options as well. They are charged filters that help capture small and large particles. So how often should you be replacing your HVAC filter? This might be a scary question if you can't remember the last time, but it should be changed every month. So you should be changing out your filters once a month to keep them clean and to help them be the most efficient in the home. Heating and cooling. So did you know the average system in your home is going to become about 1 to 3% less efficient every year? And this, of course, is depending on how well it's maintained as well. So if your system, this means that your system can become up to 30% less efficient after about 10 years. So this is why we strongly suggest routine maintenance of the systems in your home. You can see here that some ways, the percentages that can be affected by these systems becoming less efficient. So you can see with the cooling and heating delivered, this can be affected up by 73% if that system is not maintained and if it's not functioning at its highest capacity. You can also see that we have loss due to improper refrigerant levels, improper airflow, if the equipment is not sized appropriately for the home, and then of course going back to lost energy through your duct leakage. So a few HVAC maintenance tips. There are things that you're able to do yourself. So you can be, again, cleaning and changing your air filters regularly. You want to clean the area around your outdoor unit so you can rake away any kind of debris or anything that may be on top of the unit. You can schedule annual maintenance and tune-ups. So we do suggest this at least once a year, especially going into the summertime when it's going to be hotter, and making sure that unit is working as efficiently and as well as possible. And then you can also clean and maintain your vents and ducts. Something that a professional will be able to help you do. They can help you clean the drains. They can also help to clean the outdoor and indoor units. They should inspect your fan motors and fan blades, the control box that's associated with your controls and accessories. They should be able to actually address all the more technical pieces of your system. And then some efficiency tips that go along with that: getting a programmable thermostat. You can also seal your heating and cooling ducts in any open spaces, and then setting your thermostat to an ideal temperature in the home. So by decreasing your thermostat by 1 degree, you're actually able to utilize 1% less energy. So a few other thermostat recommendations. So the smaller the difference between the indoor and outdoor temperatures, the lower your overall cooling bill is going to be. So programming your thermostat automatically to be lower at night allows you to be able to control that temperature while you're sleeping, which may look different than during the daytime. And again, a programmable thermostat will let you do that without sacrificing any comfort. You also want to avoid setting your thermostat at a colder setting than normal when you first turn on the air. So sometimes we think by turning it down lower, it's going to cool the home faster. That's actually not the case, and you're just going to result in excessive cooling and an unnecessary expense. So you do want to keep your home warmer than usual when you're away, and then lower the thermostat setting when you return. With the programmable thermostats, you can even set this to be lower when you know you're on your way home. That way it's already starting to cool when you get there. Again, not having to put it down excessively. And then also making sure that you install your thermostat on an interior wall that's going to be away from drafts or cold spots, any kind of direct sunlight, or the kitchen where it could be exposed to excessive heat that may not actually be the same temperature as the rest of the home. Next, we have ceiling fans. So you can run your ceiling fans for pennies a day. You can see here that there are different settings on your fan depending on the season. So during the winter, you do want to set your fan to run clockwise. And then during the summer, you want to set it to run counterclockwise. So these settings are going to help control the flow of the air dependent on the season and what the best benefit is in terms of energy efficiency. Water heating. So water heating is going to be the second largest expense in your home. So this is going to account for about 14 to 18% of your utility bills. The average home is going to use about 64 gallons of water each day. So the amount of money that the average household spends on water heating each year is about $400 to $600. So a few things that you can do for maintenance and energy savings in regards to your water heater. So installing and aerating low flow faucets and shower heads. So helping to reduce your consumption, reduce the amount of water that you're using in the home. You want to repair leaky faucets promptly. This wastes gallons of water in a short period of time. You also want to set the thermostat on your water heater to 120 degrees. So this should provide comfortable water temperature for most users. It also helps that unit to not be overheating water when it's not used, and it shouldn't have to work harder when you do need that hot water. You also want to insulate your water heating storage tank and hot and cold pipes that are connected to the heater. This is going to help prevent heat loss. So there should be manufacturer recommendations that goes along with this update. So please be sure to follow those manufacturer recommendations. You can also install heat traps on the hot and cold pipes at the water heater. This is also going to help prevent heat loss. Most new heating systems should have built-in heat traps, so you can definitely check for that if you're thinking about purchasing a new one. You also want to drain a quart of water from your tank every 3 months. So this is going to help remove any kind of sediment that's going to impede the heat transfer of the system. Lighting. So incandescent bulbs, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm sure incandescent bulbs are probably far and few in between in homes anymore, as they're not even sold as often. But again, they run very hot. They are less efficient. About 90% of the energy that they emit is actually going to be in heat, while only 10% is from actual light. And of course, they do have a shorter lifespan compared to other light bulbs as well. Another thing to look for when purchasing light bulbs is your watts. So your watts is actually going to measure the amount of energy required to light the product. The lumens are actually what are going to measure the amount of light produced here. So you can see the wattage versus lumen comparison in terms of the energy needed to provide the most amount of light. And then kelvins and color. So some things to remember: that light color is measured on a temperature scale referred to as a Kelvin. So for a warm, soft lighting, look for bulbs that are marked between about 27 to 3,500 kelvins. For bluer or white lights, look for bulbs that are marked around 5,000 to 6,500 kelvins. Most Energy Star qualified bulbs are made to match the color of incandescent bulbs at 27 to 300. So you can see those Kelvin scales here. And again, showing you the low temperature to high temperature spectrum for that Kelvin scale. And if mercury comparison, if that is a concern for you, so how much mercury do CFLs actually contain? So just to give you an idea for other common items that contain mercury, so thermostats, manual thermostats, they have about 500 times more mercury than a CFL light bulb. Your freezer light switch is about 200 times. The old style thermometers are about 100 to 200. Even your dental fillings and watch batteries still have a greater amount of mercury in them than CFL light bulbs do. So how much energy or how much money and energy can you be saving by making the switch? So if you're thinking about changing out the light bulbs in your home and you're wondering what is going to be the most energy efficient and the best cost savings to you to do so, you can see this chart here. So of course we have the LED lights, which you can see the annual energy cost is lower. The life expectancy is much longer at about 25,000 hours. Now the purchase price is greater, but you can also see that you're going to be purchasing them less often. So LED is going to be your best choice in terms of cost over the life of the bulb and for the energy savings as well. We also encourage you to use your lighting facts. So just as many items in the grocery store have nutritional facts, light bulbs also have lighting facts that should be located on the box. These should walk you through the brightness of the bulb. They'll give you your annual estimated cost for the bulb. It'll also walk you through the life expectancy, and then going back to that Kelvin scale, it'll give you the light appearance and where that bulb falls on the scale. They'll also provide the wattage as well. And again, you can see that mercury warning that we just addressed. So taking control of your lighting needs, you only want to use the lights as needed. So a really great way to only utilize lights when they're needed are motion detectors. So this is great for outdoor lighting. Even in the home, you can set them to be when you walk into the bathroom or the hallway Detect the motion to turn the lights on only when needed. It also ensures the lights are turned off when nobody's in the room. Anything that you can set to a timer is also going to be really beneficial. Again, this is great for outdoor lighting. Any kind of dimmer switches that can be utilized in the home. This is great for rooms where you're reading. You can set the light to be brighter or lighter, dependent on what activity is happening in the room. Smart strips are also a great way. And then occupancy. So again, making sure that the light is not being utilized when nobody's in the room. Appliances. So if you washer and dryer tips, fill them up. So you want to make sure that you're doing full loads on both your washer and dryer and your dishwasher. You want for your washer and dryer, you want to make sure that you're washing in cold water. Also that you're not over drying. You do want to clean lint traps for every load. So making sure those are free and clear. That also helps to cut back on the fire hazard as well. And then of course you want to be selecting any Energy Star appliances. So all Energy Star appliances should have this blue label listed on them. For the dishwasher, if you're able to use the light setting, that's going to be the most energy efficient. So it's really helpful to scrape your dishes, and it always seems counterproductive, but washing them before you put them in the dishwasher, that way you're able to use those lighter settings. And then again, selecting your Energy Star appliances. So cool cooking tips. So these are going to be great for our summer seasons. So as opposed to using the stove or the oven, which are going to increase the temperature in your home, toaster ovens are a great alternative, crock pots, microwaves, and then of course, outdoor barbecues. So these are all ways to help reduce creating that heat in your home when cooking. Some more refrigerator tips. So if you're able to eliminate your refrigerator or the refrigerator that's maybe located in the garage that is containing some of the overflow or extra food storage, if you're able to get rid of those, that's definitely going to be beneficial. If any of your refrigeration units are out of date or older, you may want to consider replacing them. You do want to clean and maintain the coils, and then you want to check the door seal regularly to make sure that it's sealing properly and tightly, which is going to help maintain the temperature of the unit. What is your home entertainment costing you? So these might be some items that we don't overly consider, the items that stay plugged in all the time, that might be on a screensaver all the time. What are these actually costing you? So you can see below some comparisons for TVs. So we have your plasma TV, your rear projection TV, LCDs, LEDs, and then of course your monitors for your PC. So you can see these are based off of 8 hours a day and then 6 hours a day for your PC. You can see what those look like for a monthly cost. So just by running for 8 hours a day, you have your TV, that's $11. And then for your PC or monitor, just having that potentially on a screensaver for 6 hours a day, that's costing about $6.80 a month. So you can kind of see how those monthly costs can start to add up, especially if these are running for longer than the listed hours during the day. Some summer fun savings tips. So for swimming pools and hot tubs, a great way to utilize sunlight would be to use a solar insulated cover. You also want to avoid any kind of extended runs of times of fountains or pumps, anything that you can set to a timer. Using the heater only as needed. And again, using those solar insulated covers if you're able to. Same thing with the spa, using an insulated cover on all sides to keep the heat in. Again, using timers to turn on and off when you're not using. And phantom energy. So phantom energy, you may have heard of it or not, but phantom energy is energy that's being consumed even when something is not being utilized, just because it's plugged in. So we also refer to them as vampire loads. So these loads can actually cost up to $200 in yearly costs in the average home. So this wasted energy can actually power about 11 million homes. So what are some examples of phantom energy users? Game consoles, TVs, any kind of entertainment centers, water softeners, anything that is going to be warm to the touch or has a display light on it. These are all going to be items that are utilizing energy just from being plugged in, even if you're not using them. This applies to many small kitchen appliances, toasters, microwaves, toaster ovens, anything that sometimes we just keep on our counters and plugged in even when we're not using it. So some other examples here, phone chargers, your desktop computers, laptops, even if they're on sleep, LCD computer screens, other types of computer displays, again, gaming consoles, your cable modem. These are all items that are still utilizing energy even when you're not using them in the home. So the typical American home is going to have about 40 products that are continuously drawing power. So what are some phantom energy solutions? Smart power strips are a great solution that can be utilized in your home. This helps kill the power to the devices when they're not being used. But you can also see that you have a control outlet to help control the flow of energy to the outlets when needed. You also can have your constant hot outlets. So these would be the items that you constantly want to have energy. And then you can also have your automatic turn off. So these are going to turn it off when it's sensing that they're not being utilized. So this is going to help cut back on your phantom energy as well. These are relatively low cost. Most models start around $20 and can be found at your local store. So you're also able to track your consumption. So there are measuring monitors that are available. Sometimes they're referred to as a kilowatt or save a watt phantom. So these actually help count the consumption of the appliances by kilowatt hour. So there's different settings on these monitors. You can actually count your electrical expense by the day, week, or month, or even the entire year. So you're able to have your appliance plugged into this and see what it's actually costing you to run that appliance or that system in your home. It can also monitor the voltage, the line frequency, and your power factors. So this is a great way to see if potentially your refrigerating unit, if it is older, seeing if it needs to be maintained or have some maintenance work done to it or to be replaced, depending on how much it's costing you. So it's a great way to kind of understand what's consuming the most in your home. So Trico does offer a few other programs outside of our energy efficiency workshops. So we do want you to know that we do provide budget billing programs. So on budget billing, you are able to contact us to find out what your budgeted bill amount would be. That way there's no surprises. Your bill amount would be the same budgeted amount each month. We also do have time of use programs in place. Then we also have Operation Roundup. So Operation Roundup is a great way to round your bill up to the nearest cent. This money goes towards Trico's charitable trust, which is the next on the program list. But the money from this trust actually goes to community outreach. It goes to grants that we provide for organizations within Trico service territory that are doing great things. So it's a great way to contribute to those. We also have Operation Cool Shade, which is going to be our discount tree program. So the first week of January of every year, we do open this program. You are able to purchase up to 3 trees per active account, and they are $15 a piece. They're delivered to your service. You're actually able to pick them up at the annual meeting as well. They're $10 if you choose to do that. So again, a discounted tree program to help plant trees and provide shade around your home, which of course we know helps with energy efficiency and savings. And then our energy savings workshops. So we have this workshop. We also host some live workshops for summer and fall. So you can be looking for those announcements as well. And then we do have an active residential and commercial solar program. So if you are considering putting solar on your home, or if you're interested in other ways to potentially have solar for your service without installing on your home, you can give us a call and we're happy to walk you through all of those programs as well. So if you're interested in learning more energy savings tips, or you're just looking for other great ideas in your home, feel free to visit the Trico website. We also have a few other websites listed for you here through the U.S. Department of Energy. You can go ahead and review what their tips and tricks are for their low cost, no cost energy savings for your home as well. So this concludes our workshop. We thank you for being with us and taking the time to, again, learn some no-cost, low-cost tips and tricks for your home. We hope that you have found some benefit from today and have learned some things you can start doing around your home. If you do have additional questions about any of the programs that we offer or anything that you've seen today, please feel free to contact us. Again, my name is Chelsea Morrison. My contact information is here. And again, call us with any questions. Thank you.